4-3, solving systems of equations by elimination. So here's a third method of solving systems. We've done graphing, we've done substitution, and now this is elimination. In order to eliminate, you need a positive and a negative of the exact same variable in order to eliminate. So here, positive y, negative y cancels out. You also want to make sure that the equations are written in standard form. We can always put a 1 here in front of the x. So 1x and 2x makes 3x. 7 added to 2 makes 9. Divide both sides by 3. And my x value is 3. Always write your answer as an ordered pair. X is the first coordinate, so it should go first. Then substitute it back into either equation. I would choose the first one. So 3 plus y equals 7. Subtract 3 to both sides. Y equals 4. So the solution to this system would be 3, 4. Here's another example. X minus x, again, it's written in standard form. My x's and my y's are lined up on top of each other, equals to my constants. My x minus x eliminates positive 3, positive 4, 7y, 4 added to 10, both positive, 14, divide by 7, and my y value equals to 2. My y value is my second coordinate. Next, plug it back into either equation to find x. I'm going to use the top equation. So x plus 3 times my y value 2 equals to 4. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract 6 to both sides, and x equals negative 2. So my one solution to this system is negative 2, 2. You can pause and try these on your own. Both have a variable that easily is able to be eliminated. Letter A, negative 4y, positive 4y, eliminates 2x minus x is 1x, or otherwise known as x, and then 2 equals to 3. 2 added to 3 is 5. So x equals 5. Next, plugging it back in, I'm going to use the bottom equation. Remember that there's always a 1 in front of a variable that's by itself. So if you wanted to do negative 1 times 5 plus 4y equals 3, that becomes a negative 5. Add 5 to both sides, get a positive 8, divide by 4, and y equals 2. So this ordered pair would be 5, 2. Letter B, my x's eliminate. Bringing down 3 and 2 makes that 5y. 1 minus 6 is a negative 5. Dividing both sides by 5, y equals a negative 1, which would be the second number. I would go back and plug it in for my first equation since they're all positive numbers. So 2x plus 3 times negative 1 equals 1. Multiply, that becomes negative 3. Add 3 to both sides. 2x equals 4. Divide by 2, and x equals positive 2. So 2, negative 1 would be my solution to this system. Then they get a little bit harder. Here, x and 2x does not eliminate. 3 and 2 do not eliminate. But I can put a 1 here, and I know that 1 can go into 2 times. So I can multiply this top equation by a 2. But right now, if I were to multiply it by 2, I would get positive 2. And a positive 2 and another 2 would not eliminate. So I would have to make this 2 also a negative. So doing my distributive property and multiplying everything on the top by negative 2, that now becomes a negative 2x, a negative 6y, equals to a negative 6. And now I can go ahead and eliminate my x's. 2 minus 6, negative 4y. 6 minus 6 is 0. Dividing by negative 4 to both sides, any number going into 0 would always equal a 0. Again, going back, choosing whichever equation you want. I'm going to choose the top one. 3 times 0, because that was my y value. Anything times 0 is 0, so x equals a 3. So 3 comma 0 would be my one solution for this system. Here's another example. This one you have two options. I can put a 1 here in front of my x. 1 can go into 3 times, so I can do the bottom by a negative 3 to eliminate my x's, or I can do the top by a negative 2 to eliminate the y's. I'm just going to go ahead and do the top by a negative 2. Again, it's going to be completely your choice. But I just like doing the top, so I can put it right here on the bottom. Negative 2 and 3x, negative 6. Negative 2 and positive 2y is negative 4y. Negative 2 times 8 is a negative 16. My y's would eliminate. 1 minus 6 is a negative 5x. Same sign. I'm going to add those two numbers together and keep the sign. So a negative 4 minus 16 is a negative 20. Divide both sides by negative 5. And x equals negative 20 divided by negative 5, a positive 4. Again, go back to one of your original equations to finding y. I'm going to use the bottom one here. X is 4, so 4 plus 4y equals negative 4. Subtract 4 to both sides. Again, same sign. Add them together and keep the sign. Divide by 4, and y equals a negative 2. So this one solution would be 4 comma negative 2. Same thing here. 4 and 6 don't go into each other. 2 and 3 don't go into each other. So in this case, it is 4 and 6 can both go into 12, and 2 and 3 can go into 6. So since 6 is smaller, I am going to choose to do my y values. 2 goes into 6 3 times, so 3 times 2 would be 6. And 3 goes into 6 twice, so I can do 2 times 3. But since right now both of them are positive, I would need one of them to be negative so I can get opposite signs. I'm going to do the top one by negative 3. So multiply the top everything by negative 3, and I get a negative 18x, a negative 6y, and negative times negative would be a positive 36. Next, on the bottom, multiply everything by 2. We get 8x, positive 6y, equals a positive 14. My y's eliminate. Negative 18 added to 8, a negative 10x. 36 added to 14, 60. Oops, sorry, 50. Mental math. And then dividing by negative 10, x equals negative 5. Go back to one of your original equations. I'm going to do the bottom one, that's all positive. So 4 times x, which was a negative 5, plus 3y equals 7. That makes it a negative 20. Plus 3y equals 7. Add 20 to both sides, makes that 27. Divide by 3. and y equals 9. So my one solution, negative 5, comma 9. You can pause and try these on your own. Letter A, I would probably choose to eliminate the x. I can multiply the top equation by a negative 2. I can put a 1 right here. That makes it negative 2x. A negative 4y equals a negative 8. The bottom one would stay the same, nothing to change there. So now my x's eliminate, same sign, add and keep the sign. Same thing here, negative 8 minus 1 is also a negative 9. Divide both sides by negative 9 and becomes a positive 1. Go back to one of the original equations. I'm going to choose the top one, x plus 2 times 1 equals 4. It does not matter, you're going to get the same answer regardless which equation you decided to plug it back into. And remember, it's x comma y, so 2 comma 1 would be your solution. Letter B, I would decide to do the y's only because I already have a plus and minus, so I don't have to worry about them being the opposite signs. I would just need to turn this 1 into a 2 by multiplying it by 2. So that would become a 4x, a 2y, and a 4. If you want to put a 1 here, you can. That eliminates. 1x and 4x is 5x. Negative 5 added to 4 is a negative 1. This would be a simplified negative 1/5, or if you want to turn it into a decimal, negative 0.2. So I'm going to keep my fraction, and I'm going to do the top equation. So 2 times a negative 1/5 plus y equals 2. 2 times a negative 1/5 is a negative 2/5. Add 2/5 to both sides. Oh, I know I left a space. Put that over 1. 1 goes into 5 times. That makes it a 10. 10/5 added to 2/5 is 12/5. You could have also turned that into a decimal. Next here we have a florist is making regular bouquets and mini bouquets. Regular bouquets, the florist has 118 roses and 226 peonies to use in the bouquets. How many of each type of bouquet can the florist make? They're telling you to use X for regular bouquets and Y for mini bouquets. So roses in the regular bouquet, 5 roses for regular bouquets, plus 3 roses in the mini bouquets for a total of 118 roses. Peonies are 11 in the regular bouquet, plus 5 in the mini bouquets for a total of 226 peonies. Next, totally your choice, who you want to eliminate. 5 and 11 both go into 55, and 3 and 5 both go into 15. So I'm going to decide to do my y's. 3 goes into 15 5 times, and 5 and 3 make 15. And I am going to make 5 my negative, so that makes it a negative 25x minus a 15y equals 118 times 5, negative 590. Next, multiply everything on the bottom by 3, 33x plus 15y equals 226 times 3, 678. Eliminate my y's. 25 minus 33 is 8x. Negative 590 added to 678 is 88. Divided by 8. and you can make 11 regular bouquets. I'm going to go back and use the top original equation. So 5 times 11 plus 3y equals 118. That makes 55. Subtract 55. 118 minus 55. 63. And 63 divided by 3 is 21. So you can make 11 regular bouquets and 21 mini bouquets. Next, here Susan is buying black and green olives from the olive bar for her party. She buys 4 pounds of olives. That is a total. Black olives are 3 pounds, $3 per pound. Green olives are $5 per pound. She spends a total of $15.50. How many pounds of each type of olive does she buy? We can make black olives are X, green olives are Y. So all the black olives plus all the green olives is a total of 4 pounds. Black olives are $3 per pound. Green olives are $5 per pound, a total of $15.50. $15.50. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and eliminate. I'm going to do the x's since it's smaller and multiply everything on the top by a -3 to make it the opposite of +3. So -3x minus 3y and a -$12. My x's eliminate. 2y equals $3.50. Divide by 2, and they bought a total of 1.75 pounds of green olives. I would go now back to the top original. Subtract 1.75. And they bought 2 pounds and 2.25 pounds of black olives for the party. And that is your system of equations solving by using elimination. And then you always have a choice. If you see an equation that's written in slope-intercept and one in standard form, then I would use substitution as a better method. I can go ahead and substitute x plus 13 where the y is and write it as a distributed property. That becomes 7x, and that becomes 91. Combine your like terms, 9x, subtract 91, 9x equals a -81, divide by 9, and x equals -9. Go back, I would use the top equation, -9 plus 13 is 4. So it's just a preference of which method you would prefer. If they are written in both standard form and x are lined up and my y's are lined up, I would use elimination. I can make -2 a +4 by multiplying everything on the top by a -2. That makes it a -16x, a +4y, and a +16. 5 minus 16 is -11x. My y's eliminated. 17 and 16 is 33. Divide by a -11, and x equals a -3. Then again, your choice, I'm going to use the bottom one. 5 times -3 minus 4y equals 17. That's a -15. Add 15 to both sides. Do not forget to bring down that negative sign. Divide by a -4, and y equals -8. So -3, -8.